Hello everybody! It is a very pretty day here in St. Louis. I'm going to start this little Let's Weather Together outside. Stretch my legs, get a little fresh air. I just did the noon newscast. And now looking forward to sharing a little bit about what I do with you. It is a little weird. Hey, Casey! My brother Casey from San Antone. And Finn and Devin. Hey, Leah! Hey, Evan and Ella Kate. Cousins from Texas. I love it. So I'm just starting outside for a couple of reasons. 3 reasons actually. One is that they need to use the studio right now for a news update at 1 o'clock. 2, hey, hello Gary, hello everybody. So the first reason is that they need to use the studio. Second reason is I want some people to, get logged in, get settled, so that I don't run away without people who are interested in seeing this. And 2, love you too, Case. Hi, Nick. And the third reason is I want to show you how cool my office is. So let me flip this. Hi, Debbie. Let me flip this little sucker around. It is gorgeous today, Nick. So this is my office building. Nothing special about it, right? It's just a normal office building. And so some of you aren't here in St. Louis, and I wanted to show you just how cool my office building is. It's a pretty standard office building, but dun 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 dun. Yo! Look at that! It's in our front yard, the Gateway Arch. Hey, Marley! Marley Quinn. Hey, PQ, how you doing? So I love my station because we're right here in downtown St. Louis. The big Mississippi River, the mighty Mississippi, is right past the museum and Gateway Arch that you see right there. They've just redone all this beautiful park area. And so we're right here in downtown, and I just love it because, hi Penny, PC, in Georgetown. I like it because when we want to take a break and stretch our legs, then we can step outside and come out to this beautiful park. So if you're just joining me, I wanted to give some people some time to log on, and I wanted to let them get out of the studio because they were doing a news update. But I'm just showing off to my friends in Texas and to others that maybe aren't here how cool this station is. I love this television station. All right, so I'm gonna walk in and we're gonna start with the tour of the station. Dun dun dun. It is a beautiful, beautiful day. Hi Cheryl from Lake Ozark. What's up, Valerie? How are you doing? Thanks for being here. Thanks everybody for watching. And it's one of those things where we love to do these school talks, and it's really hard that we can't do them right now. Can't come visit the students. These are our live vans. Hi from Tower Grove South. What's up, Trace? Hey, Carolyn from Washmo. Hi, Ruth. These are our satellite trucks. They're pretty cool. Hi, Drew. All right, so let's go in. Let me see here. I have my sanitized wipes here so I can use the door handle. Hi, Robin from Cedar Hill. Hi, Yvette. Thank you for loving Channel 4. Hello. Giving a tour of the station today. A virtual tour. So, this is where we are. We occupy the 2 lower floors on this building. Go on in here. So we're about to enter the newsroom, which you'll notice is pretty quiet. Here we are. Just like you guys are learning from home and doing all kinds of things from home, maybe your parents are working from home, a good 80% or more of our staff is doing the same thing. This is the newsroom, which would normally be full of very talented people. It takes a whole lot of people. It takes a whole lot of people to get our news on the air and to make it look good. We're talking about really talented and smart producers who write the news, photojournalists who shoot the video that you see, and do the interviews that you see. Of course, journalists that do the stories that you see, news anchors, sports anchors, as well as the E&G, the engineers and the IT people who are helping us do a lot of this from home, because a good number of people are home. Let me flip it around and show it to you again. So shout out to all my colleagues who aren't here, but they are working from home. This is the assignment desk here. There we go. Hey! It's our assignment desk. Oh, busy, busy. All right. News manager is there, but you can see we are really, really quiet here. All right. Big shout out. And that's just this floor. When you go upstairs, we have a whole lot of talented people up there too. We've got marketing, we have arts department, they help build all those pretty graphics that you see on TV. We've got salespeople that sell all the ads and do the commercials. So we have a lot of people. There are a lot of jobs in this station that are pretty cool. And of course, mine's just a little bit of that, the broadcast meteorology. So here's where we go. What I want to take you through first is our big studio. So this is where we have a couple of shows that are taped. So I'm going to come in here. We got the lights on. So we just came through the entryway. This is our big studio. And when I first started here 6 years ago, the office that I worked in was here. Our newsroom, our news studio was in here. But now we've got a big space for commercials. We do telethons here with Shriners Hospital. And so we can do that. We've got this show here. This is a financial show that we tape for the weekends. Chad Slagle, he's talking about money and investing, and that's his set. And then what you see here, that is an old part of a green screen. We're going to talk more about the green screen where I work in just a little bit. But this is a show that we do every day from 9 to 10. It's called Great Day St. Louis. And it's a variety show. They have all kinds of interviews. They have musical guests. My favorite is when they have really good chefs from local restaurants come in and they make good stuff. This is where they control the cameras. Notice that these cameras are robotic. And they can slide all across the room and do all kinds of moving. And this is how you control them. It's almost like a video game. Take a look. Joysticks. Very cool. Very cool. This is what we call a teleprompter. Now, I don't use a teleprompter, but anchors do. That's how they read the news. It's scripted and somebody actually rolls that. So here we go. This is the Great Day Studio. We've got a little kitchen. Again, my favorite part. I love it when Chef Martin Lopez comes in here. He makes the best stuff. So here's the kitchen, one of our robotic cameras. Gotta be careful in here, they slide around a little bit. Interview set. And then this is kind of a generic set. We've had bands play over here. We have movie reviews, all kinds of stuff. It's a great show called Great Day St. Louis. And they're usually from 9 to 10 on weekdays. All right, let's go into my studio, shall we? I'm gonna take you this way. Long hallway back to the newsroom. Look at the guts of this place. Now I'm gonna tell you, I have no idea what this room does, but it's the guts. It's the brain of the operation. Let's see if we can sneak into the control room too. This is where our outstanding technical directors and producers sit when the newscasts are going on. This is the behind the scenes look at our control room. There are a lot of buttons in here, and I don't know what any of them do. I don't. There we go. We're setting up a virtual interview for Great Day St. Louis because, again, we're not allowing people in. We're being careful to keep as few people here as possible. All right. So here is the big studio. Da, da, da. Dad used to work there, Susan. Hey, Susan. Hey, Carolyn. How you doing? All right. So here we are. Surprise, you're on Facebook Live. Hey, Tim. Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
I'm going to put you on the spot. Are you okay with that?
Sure.
So Tim is a technical director here.
Yes.
Yes?
Director.
You're standing in front of the green screen. You know more about the green screen than I do. How does it actually work?
Basically, all it does is it just takes everything that's green and cuts it out with all that key.
Okay.
Everything that's green is keyed out. Everything that's not green, you're able to see. So it just takes that and cuts a little hole in the picture. Everything that's not green.
So I can't wear green. It's a bad idea.
If you wear green, yes.
I disappear.
That's a bad idea.
All right, I put you on the spot. I just showed everybody the control room where you work,
Okay.
and I showed them all those buttons that I don't know anything about. So
Okay.
it's a very complicated and fun room.
Yes.
Um,
Well, I don't know about fun.
You don't know about fun?
It's fun.
It is fun. Thank you for taking the time to do that. I put you on the spot. There's Maurice Drummond, everybody.
Hi, everybody.
Yep, he's one of our morning. He is our morning news anchor here. He is one of the few anchors still in house.
Yes.
Yep, your
Yes.
partner Marissa is at home.
Everyone's at home.
Yeah.
So basically, I man the desk, and everyone does their thing from the separate locations. We're all together, but yet we are
Yeah.
socially distanced.
Yeah, and there are a few of us that need to be here to run things on this side.
Absolutely.
It's a skeleton crew, so here we are.
Yep.
Here we are. So there's Maurice. He's getting ready to head home for the day. He's been here since what time?
Oh, 2 a.m.
2 a.m. That's the early morning shift. So this is the studio. I love this. This is what we call the matrix wall. Look at all those screens. You could put one full picture in that, or you could break it up. And it's used as a background. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Also, I want to show you something. I don't know if you can see these letters on the floor. And I'm sorry if this is really herky-jerky. But take a look there. Position B. Position C. So the studio is lit for these spots. We have special lights up there. They're pretty bright. And so when we put anchors over here on the wall, we'll say, hey, go to C. And you'll stand on position C, or you'll stand on position B. This is the Weather Center, this Forewarned Storm Center, and that's pretty much my office. We're going to get in there and do a little digging here in just a little bit, but this is more of the studio. Hi, Brian and your son, Logan. How's it going? Hi, Joanne. It's fun sharing this stuff with you. This is a lot of stuff that I can't even take this to schools, really, unless I do a video. This is what we call the vertical monitor. You know why? Because it's vertical. So this is where we are. This is, of course, the big news desk behind us. Tim's setting us up we've got a couple cut-ins to do at 2 o'clock. And again we've got the governor's press conference at 2:30 from Illinois. We have another governor's conference at 3 o'clock from Missouri. Giant teleprompter. This is what the cameras look like where the anchors can see them. So you can see here, anchors read there. And then here is the green screen. And I think they're doing an interview, but let me show you a little bit about the green screen. I get a lot of questions. My hair blew in the wind. It's looking kind of funky. Oh, well. I get a lot of questions on how I do the weather on the green screen. So I thought I would show you a little bit about how the green screen works and how it works. Hey, Tim.
Yes.
I know you're busy in here, but if you wander back to the control room, would you flip the prompter switch?
Yeah, I can.
Or is it going to bug them?
Well, you'll just see that.
That's okay.
Okay.
Is that?
You won't see yourself.
I won't see myself?
No. You'll
Okay.
see whatever it is, but I can switch it.
Well, all right. We can look at it later then.
When they get done,
Okay.
I can pop it up.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I appreciate it. So they're taping an interview, and that's kind of tying up some things right now. But here's how the chroma key actually works. I stand, and all that's ever behind me is this green screen. It's green. I never have maps behind me. I build all the maps, and then I stand in front of them, and I can see myself on camera 6 right here. Hi, Joshua from Mascuda. So here's where I can see what I'm doing, except I don't see the words. I see a reflection of myself standing in front of my maps. So camera 6 is looking at me, and I'm talking to camera 6. Camera 6 is my audience. Everybody out there is the eyeballs that are watching us on TV. So I have to always, always keep in contact with camera 6, because camera 6 is you watching me tell you the weather story. So I can see myself standing in front of the maps, and hopefully in a little bit I can maybe show you that. But if I want to turn to the side and maybe look like I'm pointing to something, like I would be pointing here, I'm actually looking at this side monitor right here. See, I've got a little cheat monitor that I can see where I'm pointing. Now you're seeing an interview that's being taped, but later, if it were me, it would be me standing in front of my maps. I also have a cheat sheet for all of our tower cameras. Stuff that you can't see. So I would be pointing here and looking at that monitor. So I've got a monitor off to the side, I have a monitor in front of me, and I have one more monitor off to the other side. So let's say I have to come to the other side of the green screen and point here. I'm looking at one more monitor here. So I have 3 different ways to be able to see myself on the green screen. That is the green screen right there. All right, so let's go over to the Weather Center because I want to talk a little bit about what I usually talk about when I go see kiddos and students at schools is what is a meteorologist? So let's come over here until we can play with the green screen a little bit more. Again, this is the Weather Center. Let me flip it back around. Nothing special. I've got a workstation here. This is usually where Chief Meteorologist Steve Templeton sits. He's got 2 internet monitors that he can use to monitor the weather. And then this is one of our computer graphics systems. We have a copy of that. This is another one of our computer graphics systems here. And then we have my internet computer. This is my workstation that I usually use here. In fact, I need to log back on there. All right, so let's talk a little bit about what a meteorologist does. I'm going to go up here. I've made some graphics to talk about that. So let's put that in motion. Ooh, there's a glare. Let's try and get rid of that. Caitlin from Caseyville. Hi. Hi, Donna. All right, so what is a meteorologist? A meteorologist is a scientist that studies the atmosphere. So I don't study meteors. I'm a scientist who studies the atmosphere. And I study the atmosphere in order to explain, understand, observe, and forecast the weather. Why is that important? Well, it's kind of important to you. You need to know if it's going to be sunny or cloudy. Hello from St. Peter's. Hi, Sean. You need to know if there's going to be a chance of rain. You need to know if there's going to be a chance of snow. And so I try to understand the atmosphere so I can explain and observe and forecast the weather on how it will impact you, the earth, and life on this planet. It is a 4-year college degree, so you want to go all the way through high school, and then you want to go to college as well. I went to Texas A&M and Mississippi State University. Chief Meteorologist Steve Templeton went to Purdue. So it's a 4-year college degree, and yep, there's a lot of math. There's physics, there's chemistry, and other atmospheric science. But I tell you what, it's awesome because I get to do what I love every single day. Now, just like doctors have specialties, meteorologists can have specialties as well. So if I have a knee problem and I need knee surgery, I'm not going to go see a neurologist because a neurologist works on things in the head and the brain. I'm going to go see a knee surgeon or an orthopedic doctor. So doctors can have specialties, and there are specialties in meteorology. There's a lot of cool jobs in meteorology. I'm going to try and fix my hair. A lot of jobs in meteorology, and my specialty is television. Shelly's asking me, is Kent fun to work with? Kent is snarky and absolutely fun to work with. It's hard to keep track of all the slides on the one computer. Oh, is it hard to keep track of all the slides on the one computer? No, I'm pretty used to it. Debbie, I'll talk more about that in just a minute. So let's get back to this. So I specialize in TV or broadcast. As you've just seen, this is my special office. But there's lots of good jobs in government, private, and sports. I'm going to try and use my little, sorry if it's wobbly. I'm going to stabilize this because I need to log on to my other computer right here. And show you, when I talk about government meteorologist, let me show you this. Try and do it slowly. See, there's the green screen. So I walk from the Weather Center over there. Boop, boop. Kent is a riot, Nick. All right, so here we go. This is the National Weather Service. It is a very cool job, I'm telling you. If you want to be a meteorologist, this is awesome. Hi from St. Charles to Tara, watching with your 2 kids. Well, thank you for doing this. Thank you for tuning in and being a part of it. So these are the National Weather Service meteorologists that work all across the country, and they work in zones. So Casey, Finn, and Devin down in San Antonio, this would be your zone here. Actually, it's Austin as well. So Georgetown, my friend Penny, this would be your National Weather Service office. And it looks like we've got a severe thunderstorm watch for you going on there. So basically we have sectors all across the country, and they all work for the government. Ours is obviously right here in St. Louis. And so they cover all this area. And just because something really funny was happening at the noon show, let me show you this. Kansas City, look at that temperature. And freezing rain. So on the other side of the state right now, and it's 120 here. On the other side of the state in Kansas City, it's 33 with freezing rain. And look here in St. Louis. It's 70 degrees and mostly cloudy. Crazy. All right, so those are government meteorologists. Let's go back. I'll try and do it slowly. Boop, 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 boop. Okay, here we go. So we're talking about what is a meteorologist. Let's go to the next slide. Oops. Let's hit the wrong button and go to the wrong slide. Oh, well, we're having fun. What slide did I have on? That one. Okay. Reset, kids, reset. All right. So, what is a TV meteorologist? We're talking about my specialty. My specialty, I really have three kind of jobs here. The first thing is I'm an atmospheric scientist. Remember, I have to put together a forecast or my daily weather story. And I do like to think of it as a story. I'm telling you a story about the weather. If you have a favorite book, your books have characters, they have settings, they have plots. So my weather is kind of like a story. I've got characters. Sometimes the characters are rain or wind or hot temperatures or flooding. And I have to find a way to tell that story where it makes sense. So I put together my forecast or my daily weather story. And to do that, I use the education I got from school in my atmospheric science. And then I have to build these graphics. So see, I made these graphics. I assemble the graphics and the maps that help me tell that weather story. So first I have to put together the forecast, and I'm going to show you a little bit about how we do a forecast. And then I assemble the graphics and maps that help me tell that story. I put them in order, just like a PowerPoint. See over here? I make all these slides, put them together, and that's how we go on the air. So the next part of my job is I actually have to tell you that story, right? That's the communications part. So I'm a scientist, I'm a graphics artist, and I'm a communicator. I have to stand in front of that green screen and tell you the weather story in a way that makes sense and in a way that you can get something out of it, in the way that you can stay safe, especially when it comes to severe weather. So how do we forecast? First things first, you know that weather is day to day, right? Weather is different from climate. Weather is day to day. Climate is a trend, or let's say it's a 30-day average. So I'm forecasting the weather. I'm not forecasting the climate. We actually have really great climate scientists who deal with the climate forecasting. I deal with weather day to day. And one of the things we do is we observe current conditions with lots of weather instruments. There's lots of weather tools out there. First of all, one tool I use is my eyeballs. When I was outside earlier with you at the Arch, it was mostly cloudy. It was dry outside. There was a nice breeze and the temperatures were warm. So I'm using my observations of the current weather outside as I come into work. And then I start to use computer models with all of the tools that we have out there as well. So what are some of these tools? Well, we know that a thermometer measures temperature, and we know that a barometer measures air pressure. Did you know that the air actually weighs something out there? And the barometer is telling us how much the air weighs. If the air is heavy and sinking, that is high pressure. And high pressure generally gives us happy weather. Big H, high pressure, happy weather. If the air is getting lighter, if it's rising, that's lower pressure. And lower pressure, the big L, gives us lousy weather. Gives us rain, gives us clouds. So we have to measure these current conditions. Barometer, thermometer, anemometer measures wind speed. And we take these current observations and put them into computer models. Other tools that we have that are hugely important: radar, tracking rain and storms, and satellites from space. The satellites from space can actually see clouds, they can detect cloud top temperatures, water vapor. Man, the satellites from space can tell us all kinds of things, and the satellites from space can see hurricanes out over the oceans when our radar can't. So, what are weather models? Well, computer models, weather models, predict a short-term to a 10-day forecast. How do they do that? The models take current conditions, all those current conditions that we just talked about, current air temperature, current humidity, current air pressure, all of those things, wind speed, wind direction. They take all of those current conditions from many locations around the area, and then they use, here we go, math equations to predict what will happen. So we have lots of different computer models, and they're running lots of different equations. And it's my job as a scientist to try and figure out what that means for the weather and how to make a forecast out of all of that data. Hi to Melinda. Hi to Austin, watching from St. Louis. Thanks so much, you guys, for being here. Again, I'm just kind of showing you what's going on in the studio here. This is my office. This is where I've been working for the last couple of weeks when everybody's at home. I'm pretty much here in my little weather center and staying away from people. So let's talk a little bit about these computer models. Let me show you just maybe one of the things or two of the things when you say, well, how do you forecast the weather? Well, here's some computer models. And these are actually on the internet. Anybody can see them. Hi, Tara from Baldwin. So anybody can see these. It's just a matter of how we analyze them. So sometimes, maybe one television station has a forecast and somebody says, well, why is it different on channel 5 than it is on channel 4? Well, maybe we're analyzing the data differently. We see all the data online. Shoot, you could even see this data from home. But some of our computer models are short-term models. This one's a pretty short-term model, and I can come click on maybe the St. Louis area here. And what do you think these blobs are? These blobs are rain, and maybe when you get into the yellows and reds, it's probably getting into heavier rain or maybe even some thunderstorms. Or let's switch it over to precip type, because remember we had the freezing rain and snow over by Kansas City? Aha! So I have these different tools that I can use. Switch it over to precip type, and the purple that you see there, that purple is freezing rain. The green is rain. The purple also could just be a mix. It could also be the computer model just not really sure what is going to fall over there. But so that's happening across the state. Now let's go out in time. So if I scroll off to the right, notice how the pink over by Kansas City kind of goes away. But we're getting more green and green and green and green across central Missouri into Illinois and eventually into St. Louis. So this is a way that I'm forecasting. Hey, Patricia from South Carolina. Miss you too. Lydia from Elsa. This is how we forecast, for example, rain. My weather story today is that it's cloudy now, but we have rain moving in a little bit later. And the reason I know it's going to be rain is because our temperatures are above freezing. We're not going to be as cold as it was in Kansas City, so we're just going to see rain. We are going to cool down. Let's look at another parameter, for example. Let's come over here and look at something else. Surface products. Let's go to temperature. Ooh, the map looks totally different. What on earth do you think those colors mean? Well, the colors are temperature, essentially. Take a look. You see here, all the orange and red, that signifies a warmer environment. Over here, see the greens and the blues. Ooh, those dark blues up there. That's signifying a cooler environment there. So we have warmer air in St. Louis. We have colder air that's coming in behind this cold front. Can you find the cold front? Can you find the cold front? Look here. Pretty easy to find. This line. When I talk about a cold front, all I'm talking about is the leading edge of cold air. And it's right here. It cuts right through Missouri. And it's moving this way. So we're going to be warm for now, but we've got colder air moving in. And that cold air, as it moves in, it lifts this warm air right here. It lifts. We have rising air. And the rising air gives us clouds. The rising air gives us thick enough clouds, heavy enough clouds where we get rain. And potentially some thunder. We could hear a little bit of thunder today. But you need rising air to get clouds, to get rain, and you need low pressure or a cold front to do that. So one of the things I can predict here is that it's definitely warm right now. Well, what if we go out in time? Remember when we did that with the rain? So this is my time bar. All right, I'm gonna zoom into Missouri. Ooh, there's a glare. Let's see if I can go do this. All right, so I'm zooming into Missouri. We're going out in time. Watch that front move. Watch the cold air. Watch the cold air. So it's not quite as cold as it is off to the north and west, but you can see how the cold air comes in and it totally replaces that warm air. So we're gonna be cooler on Saturday. That's a way I can forecast the temperature. It's gonna be cooler. Look up here, look at all these pinks. Whew, that's really cold air there. So this is one of the ways, and this is just one computer model. Look up top, all those tabs, they're different computer models and they're gonna look a little different. Like I can click on this one and go here. It looks the same with our blobs of green and our yellow. And it also shows that front bringing rain across the state. Showers continue on Saturday, and then they move out for Sunday. These are more short-term models. Let me look at something that's a little longer term, just for fun. Again, we're looking at precipitation type. Green is rain. Pink, purple, radar not exactly sure what's going on there. Hi, Damien. Hi, Jerry. And we go out in time. See how that moves out of our area. There is, where are we now? We are on Sunday night going into Monday. There's more rain in Monday's forecast. See that? Now we are into Tuesday night and Wednesday. Wednesday looks dry. More rain coming in Thursday. So this is just pretty much how I use these tools to start to put together my forecast. Now, this is how we put together our forecast over here. You can see we talked about tools. This is radar. Nothing in St. Louis right now. Over in Kansas City, looking at the pinks. Now we just saw pinks on the computer models. This is what's actually happening in the atmosphere right now. We're dry in Columbia. We have rain pushing into Carrollton and Clinton, Missouri. Here's Kansas City. Notice the pink? Well, let's look at the temperature there, if I can. Do I have a temperature there? Yeah, 31 degrees. Is it 31 in Kansas City? Yeah, 31. So what do you think is happening if the temperature is 31 and we have rain falling into that? 31 is below freezing. So we've got the pink, which is showing either freezing rain or maybe some snowflakes are mixed in there. Let's, for fun, I do have family watching from Texas. Ooh, these are storms down in Texas. There's San Antonio, Austin. And these are some big thunderstorms, looks like. I could see if there's any warnings on them. Yep. Oops, that glare is terrible. Sorry, you guys. There's some warnings there, the boxes. So these are some strong storms. It looks like they're tracking east. They'll eventually get their way into San Antonio. And that's why we have a severe thunderstorm watch going on in San Antonio. All right, so I build my forecast. Elijah from Peevely checking in. Hello, hello. Oh, Nick says it's sleet in Kansas City. It could be sleet, yeah. Sleet, freezing rain, snow, wintry mix. We like to use wintry mix. It's kind of easier. All right, so let's come over here and let me, just for fun, I'll pull up my 7-day forecast. So this is the ultimate goal of what I'm putting together. I'm gonna see if I can pardon the camera right now. I'm gonna try and get you a closer view. How about a straight view? Okay, so this is, hold on. We're casual here, we're cash. All right, so this is my 7-day forecast. See this? So the first part of my job is I use the computer models to forecast the weather. Now, once I have my forecast together, I have to build the graphics, remember? So I can tell my weather story. I've put together my weather story, and this is the big graphic that I have to put together, which is the 7-day forecast. Let me see if I can make that look a little bit better. First time using my little camera tripod thing, and that glare is awful. All right, let me try something different. Big studio lights. Not great. All right, so what I do here, there's the graphic. I'm in a build mode where I can come over here, take a look at this window that opens up. And I can go in and plug in my numbers. So, for example, right here, day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4. Hi, Carter, a Pattonville student watching from Bridgeton. This is how I plug in my numbers. I plug in my low temperatures, and then this is a fun part. Let me put this back down. I can pick an icon. I could pick my weather condition. Is it nighttime? Is it mostly sunny? So this is where I pick the little thing that you see that flashes on the screen. So let me say I want this day to be mostly sunny. So I click that, I hit OK, and then we change it to mostly sunny. And we do that for every day. And then I can type things in, like AM showers likely. That's for tomorrow. Morning showers likely on Saturday, and then maybe a spot afternoon shower. And then there's nothing on Sunday because it's a dry day. Monday and Tuesday, I have a chance of rain and storms. Remember, we saw that on the computer models just now. And then the other cool thing is that we can put different sports teams on here. Let's go Blues. So we could add that. We can do Cardinals for baseball. So that's kind of cool. So I make all those changes that I want, and then this is what you see on the air. We made that mostly sunny. We should probably change it back to rain because we're actually going to see rain tomorrow. So let's make it a light rain. Okay, boom. I click save. I click save as movie, and it goes over to the web page. And there it goes. It renders out. So I've made my forecast. I've made graphics here to tell my story. Other graphics I can use. This was what I used for my noon show. In fact, let's go back over to the green screen because it's working now. So let me put my noon show into play. Hi again. Let's put our noon show into play, and we'll come over to the green screen because now it's working, and now you may get a little better idea of what the green screen is like. So I've spent my whole day so far putting together the weather story, building my weather graphics, and then when it's news time at noon, at 4, 5, 6, 10, or if I'm here in the morning, the last thing I do is I come back over to the green screen and I have to do my weather from here. I have to tell you that weather story. I need this clicker to be able to click through my graphics. So I've done the 7-day, I've done some other graphics, and take a look at what's in front of me. What's in front of me, remember we saw words before? Now it's me. And when I click, the graphics come behind me. So right here, let me click this again. Ready? Click. And now I see behind me radar. We're looking at a cold front here. See how I can point to the cold front? I'm going to spin around. Notice there's nothing behind me. You can see on the side monitor, it's me again. And here's camera 6. Remember, my audience is you out here. So I want to interact with camera 6 as much as I can. But this is what I see. The anchors read teleprompter. I see me standing in front of my maps so that I can use my right hand to point, or I can come over and I can use my left hand to point. And to do that, remember we saw our cheat screens? There's this one over here. There's the main camera. And there's this one over here. So if I want to look like I'm actually pointing at something on the map, like right here, you could see that warm air moving in. I'm actually looking at the map that's off to my side. Or here, I can just reach my arm back and point to warm, say, wow, it's really warm. That's warm air that's moving into the region. So we click to the next part of our story. Remember how cold air is coming in? Freezing rain, sleet, Nick, maybe some snow out in Kansas City. That colder air is coming in. Remember, we talked about the cold front. We looked at the difference in temperature. This is a cold front right there. It's a blue line with triangles on it. Basically represents the leading edge of that cold air. And here comes the cold air. Look back here. It's 30 in Kansas City. It's 70 in St. Louis. Let me get a little closer so you can see it better. You don't need that much me. Yikes. It's 30 in Kansas City, 70 right now in St. Louis. We zoom in, take a look at temperatures across the region. There they are. Another click of the button, and we go to Super Predictor. This is basically more computer models. I've selected the computer models that I like the best, that fit my forecast the best, that tell my weather story the best. And I use my computer models here to try and walk you through the timing of the rain. This is the big part of my story because we've got people that want to ride bikes, that want to take a walk, that want to stretch their legs and take a break from the inside time that we have right now. And we want to show them the dry time. And we have a lot of dry time in St. Louis going through the afternoon. Click of the button takes us to our next pause point. Here comes the front. Rain chances are increasing as we go into the evening. Click the button again. Notice how things are moving. This is something else that I have to draw and put together before the show starts. So I've added this front. I've picked my computer models. I've put text in above. Click the button. All these green blobs, rain showers. We're going to see rain showers across the St. Louis area as we go through the night tonight. Tomorrow morning, probably some showers out there as well. Maybe a rumble of thunder. I think most of this is just going to be rain showers and it's going to be scattered or spotty, so it's not a total washout. And as we get into Saturday afternoon, notice how that rain is breaking up. So the highest rain chance is in the morning, and then in the afternoon we'll see just a few spotty sprinkles or a few spotty showers out there. And then there's that graphic that we just put together. Remember, the 7-day forecast? There it is. So cooler tomorrow, morning showers likely, a spot afternoon shower. And then we play the 7-day forecast out. And you can see this is just what we built over there in the Weather Center. All right. So that's a little bit about my world. You can see here, different cameras have the weather in there. That's the three main parts of my job. Is that first of all, I'm a meteorologist. We talked about what a meteorologist is. I'm a scientist who studies the atmosphere. I make observations. I try and understand how the atmosphere is working so that I can try and let you all know how you need to prepare. I put together graphics on my fancy graphics computers here, put together my show, order everything the way I want it to order. Here, remember we put them in order here. Here's my camera view, which we looked at the beginning. Here's the next slide is the warm air moving in, remember that? So I put together the graphics, and then the last thing I do is I get on the green screen and I tell you what's going on. I am so thankful that you have decided to tune in today and join me to learn a little bit about the television studio, what it looks like, the green screen, the magic of the green screen. Remember, if I wear that color, I will totally disappear. You want to see it? Here, let's do a quick magic trick before we sign off. I'm going to get a little magic trick for those of you who are still sticking with me. Magic on the green screen. All right, so I'm going to come back over here and can you see that I'm here? Watch this. You can see that I'm holding a green sheet. Okay. Now, let me show you what this looks like in my hand. I gotta flip the camera. This is what I'm holding in my hand. a green sheet, plain old green sheet, right? See it? All right, let's flip this. Now you see me. All right, now what do you see? Just an arm and the phone? See what happens if I wear green? Here, wait. Hi. See what happens if I wear green? You can completely... Now I really messed up my hair. My goodness. Okay, but take a look. It'd be a lot easier if somebody could actually film this for me. Take a look at what happens if I wear green. I totally disappear. See? Cold front goes right through me. I'm just a head and an arm with a phone. That's why we can't wear green. So, little magic trick. They use them a lot in Hollywood, Harry Potter, all those movies. They use the green screen a lot. Okay, I think I've taken enough of your time. I will go back through and look at some of your comments and things, and if you had any questions that you put in the comments, I'll try and go through and answer some of those for you. Today, I just really wanted to share the first part of my school talk, what I usually do when I go talk to kiddos in the classroom. I usually talk about my job, what it is, what I have to do, and I talk about a little bit about how we forecast. I show some of those websites, and the cool thing about today is that you actually got to come with me to work and see what the television station looks like. And again, I'm so proud to work here right next to the Arch. We've got so many great and talented people who are working from home and just helping to get you the very latest information. And of course, as meteorologists, we're here to bring you the latest information when it comes to weather, whether that's sunny weather or whether it's stormy weather. So going forward, as we move into next week and in the weeks ahead, I'd like to do more of these. More of what I would do for my school talks. We could talk about how storms form. We could talk about severe weather versus just regular old thunderstorms. We could talk about winter weather, how snow forms, what is sleet, what is hail. There's all kinds of things that we can talk about. So I'd like to keep having these little sessions with you as we go through the month of April, if we're going to stay out of school for that long. If you've got topics that you want to hear about, send them on in to me, and I'll certainly let you know when I'm going to be back. But I really, really thank you for tuning in today. I had a lot of fun. I have 2 questions for you, and my first question is, did you learn anything? And my second question is, did you have any fun? I hope you had a little fun. I hope you learned a little bit, and I will see you right here next time. Until then, stay safe and stay well.